Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaivam Narottamam Devim Saraswatam Vyasam Tato Jayam Jire Ashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nitya Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttama Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Naishtiki. Hare Krishna. Welcome to this discussion on Srimad Bhagavatam. We are right now in the Canto 8, Canto 1, Chapter 8. So, if you see the overall flow, in the previous discussion, we were looking at the last 26 slokas or 29 slokas of Chapter 7, which was Son of Drona punished. Now, this chapter is very, very nice, beautiful, because it talks about it is about prayers like week 20. There is one more prayer, which is Uttara's prayer, also in this chapter. And there is one important theme. Why did Lord appear in the womb of Devaki as son of Vasudeva? That is answered here. And this question is from our chapter 1. Why did Lord appear in the womb of Devaki as son of Vasudeva? So that is also answered in this shlok, in this chapter. So it is a very, very nice chapter. There are very important shlokas here. In fact, it would be nice to memorize the entire set of shlokas where Queen Kunti is praying to Lord Krishna. It is very beautiful. We will go through this. We will recite the shlokas and we will understand wherever where deeper understanding is required. Okay, so in this chapter, so after punishing, so let us look into the summary of this chapter before we get into this shloka, because we need to understand the overall flow of Srimad Bhagavata. So after punishing Ashwatthama, the Pandavas and Draupadis are overwhelmed with grief, uh, and uh, and they perform necessary rituals for their departed relatives. Yeah, so they perform the necessary rituals for the departed relatives. Later, Krishna and King Yudhishthira perform 3 horse sacrifices, and this caused his fame to spread like the fame of Indra. Then Krishna prepares to leave to Dwaraka. So at this point of time, suddenly Putra comes running towards Krishna seeking his protection. Putra is pregnant at that time. She is wife of Abhimanyu, and Abhimanyu is son of Arjuna. Um, Abhimanyu was killed in the battle of Kurukshetra. So now Shiva, Abhimanyu's wife, Uttara, was pregnant, and this was the last heir of Kuru dynasty in her womb. So she prays to Krishna, "Oh Lord, no one else can protect me except you. A fiery arrow is coming towards me very fast. Let it burn me personally, but not kill my unborn child." So Krishna understood that Ashwatthama, in his perversity to wipe out the Pandavas, had again released another Brahmastra to kill Uttara's embryo. So instantly, Krishna manifests inside the Uttara's womb in a form of, in a thumb-like form, and saved her yet to be born son. This son's name is Parikshit. He will be named Parikshit. So Krishna enters Uttara's womb and counteracts the power of Brahmastra. This episode of Lord protecting Parikshit Maharaj shows how Lord Krishna is always attentive to the needs of his devotees. Now, overwhelmed with gratitude and devotion, the chaste Queen Kunti, mother of Pandavas, praises Krishna. So she praises in a different ways. I will just talk about a brief summary now, but when we get into shlokas, we will have deeper look. So you are like a original person beyond comprehension of ignorant. How can a simple woman like Kunti can know him? But she is fortunate. She tells that she is fortunate to see beautiful form of Krishna, and she praises Krishna that he has protected her sons from various calamities. And she also prays that those calamities come again and again so that she can see Krishna repeatedly. And this seeing Krishna relieves them of the cycle of repeated birth and death. So people puffed up of their material opulence do not know Krishna, but those who are not material possessive can see him. So Kunti Maharani says that material opulence may take us away from Krishna. Therefore, she prays to Krishna to take away all the material opulences. She also prizes that, "O Krishna, your birth and activities are inconceivable. You descend to reciprocate with the desires of your devotees and to propagate the movement of bhakti that enables everyone to attain Krishna's lotus feet." So while Lord remains invisible to proud materialist, he eagerly reciprocates with love to his ardent devotee. So this is how Queen Kunti prays to Krishna. Expressing her feelings of separation and dependence on Krishna, Kunti petitions that you are leaving us today when all kings are envious of us. So she is telling that this envious kings may attack us again. The prosperity of this kingdom is only due to his grace, is Krishna's grace. In fact, Krishna, you need to protect us from this envious king. And she also prays, Kunti prays that to Krishna to sever her ties of family affection and prays that her mind be constantly drawn towards us, towards Krishna exclusively, like Ganges flows towards the ocean, undeterred. Flow of Ganges is very rapid and it cannot be stopped undeterred. So Kunti wants our bhakti to also flow towards Krishna undeterred. So a devotee is ready to welcome even calamities and give up temporary relationships to serve and love Krishna. So when Krishna hears this beautiful prayer of Kunti, Krishna smiles and prepares to leave. Yudhishthira stops him. Yudhishthira is overwhelmed with grief and he is ridden with guilt that such a huge battle took place and so many people were killed. The entire dynasty was reduced to now just five people, five Pandavas. So Yudhishthira is a kind-hearted person. He considers this entire massacre at Kurukshetra was just carried out to enthrone him, or was carried out to just enthrone him as the king of Hastinapur. He personally felt responsible for the bloodshed in the war and laments deeply for his sin. So at this moment, this chapter comes to an end. Then we have an interesting chapter, which is, I'm just sharing the screen again, which is passing away of Bhishma Deva in the presence of Krishna. So Krishna takes Yudhishthira to Bhishma Dev and Bhishma Dev gives important message to Yudhishthira, important lesson to Yudhishthira. Okay, so let us go now to this chapter, go shloka by shloka, and then we will try to understand. Okay, let us go to the shlokas. So the title of this chapter is Prayers by Queen Kunti and Parikshit saved. Suta uvacha atetesam paretanam swanam udakam icchatam datum sakrishna gangayam puraskritya yayustriya. Suta Goswami said, thereafter, the Pandavas, desiring to deliver water to dead relatives who had desired it, went to Ganges with Draupadi. The ladies walked in the front. So Krishna is, no, Prabhupada is writing a purport. Today, it is a custom in Indian Hindu society to go to Ganges or any sacred river to take bath when death occurs in the family. Pandavas also followed this rule more than 5,000 years ago. Lord Krishna, being consistent from Pandavas, was also amongst the family members. Second, ते निनियोतकं सर्वे विलप्य च वृषं पुनः आप्लुता हरिपादाब्ज राजपूत सरिच्छले. Having lamented over them and sufficiently offered Ganges water, they bathed in Ganges. Those water is sanctified due to being mixed with the dust of lotus feet of Lord. Ganges touches the lotus feet of Krishna. So when in the Vamana avatar, when Vamana became Trivikrama, the tallest lord who can perform Herculean tasks, then he lifted his leg. The thumb pierces the roof of this universe, and then the Raja, it flows into our earth, enters into this universe through that hole and ends it touches the it is carrying always the dust of lotus feet of Lord. Text 3. Tatra Sinam Kurupatim Dhardarashtam Sahnujam Gandharim Putra So Kartam Pratam Krishnam Cha Madhava. That's the king of Kurus Maharaj Yudhishthira along with his younger brothers and Dhritarashtra, Gandhari, Kunti and Draupadi all overwhelmed with grief. Lord Krishna was also there. Okay, go to next sloka. Santavyaham ashamni ata bandhum sucharpitam bhuteshu kalasya gatim darshyana pratikriyam. Citing the stringent laws of Almighty and the reactions upon living beings, Lord Shri Krishna and the Munis began to pacify those who were shocked and affected. So, Prabhupada is giving an interesting thing here. The Lord makes all laws and orders, and these laws and orders are generally called Dharma or religion. No one can create any religious formula. Bona fide religion is to abide by the orders of the Lord. Lord's orders are clearly declared in Bhagavad Gita. So we need to follow the laws of Almighty. I'll go to next shloka. साधयित्वा जातः शत्रोः स्वराज्यं कितवेकृतां घातयित्वा सोतो राजनः राज्ञः कचस्पर्श शतयुषाः. The clever Duryodhana and his party cunningly usurped the kingdom of Yudhishthira, who had no enemy. By the grace of the Lord, the recovery was executed. The unscrupulous king who joined with Duryodhana were killed by him. Others also died, their duration of life having decreased for the rough handling of the hair of Queen Draupadi. So there is these 5 points are very important. In glorious days or before the advent of age of Kali, the Brahmanas, the cows, the women, the children, and old men were properly given protection. So here, most important for us is this protection of children gives the human form of life its best chance to prepare the way of liberty from material bondage. Such protection of children begins from the very day of begetting a child by purificatory process of Garbhadana Samskara, the beginning of pure life. This complete outlook is based on factors leading to successful humanity as against the civilization of polished caste and stocks. So today's children um, are not given proper protection, and most of them are behind mobile phones or having mobile phones. They are going to schools, and schools are teaching about things which takes the children away from Krishna consciousness. So Prabhupada usually calls today's schools as slaughterhouses because it is causing the killing of the soul of the child. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Neha Vikrama Nashasti Pratyavayona Vidyate Swalpa Piyasya Dharmasya Trayate Mahato Bhaya. A small endeavor in serving Krishna will protect us from greatest danger. What is the greatest danger? The greatest danger is drifting into lower species of life. And if we are not given knowledge about Krishna, we will go to deepest parts of lower species, and for us to get back the human life will become very difficult. You have to pass through many sufferings. So this is called as soul-killing civilization. So in whichever circumstances we are, we need to ensure that our children get exposed to Srila Prabhupada's books. Best thing is to teach children at home, not to send them to schools. Schools are slaughterhouses. I go to next level. Actually, there's one more point. In Bhagavad Gita, it is stated that when a woman become unchaste for want of proper protection, there are unwanted children called as Varna Shankara. In today's world, women and men mix in all walks of life. So there is this results in contamination of the mind of both the sexes, that is men and women. Women especially starts comparing their husband with the colleague with whom she works in the office, and this comparison leads to is the first step for a woman to become unchaste. So yeah, so that is the first step towards her becoming unchaste. And most important, there is also a famous saying in Vedas, which is Lajja Nari Bhushana. That means shyness is protection for women. Shyness is ornament of a woman. Today's women, in the name of feminism, broader outlook, and open society, are losing the shyness, and hence they lose their beauty and their ornament. So these are a few things which we should be mindful of when we are uh, mindful of. It is very important wherever we are. Text 6. याजयित्वा अश्वमेधैस्तं त्रिभिरुत्तमकल्पैकै तद्यशा पावनं दीक्षो शतामन्यो इवातनोत्. Lord Shri Krishna caused three well-performed Ashwamedha Yajnas, horse sacrifices, to be conducted by Maharaj Yudhishthira, and thus caused his virtuous fame to be glorified in all directions, like that of Indra, who had performed 100 sacrifices. So, after completing the death rituals, Krishna and Yudhishthira, Krishna makes Yudhishthira do three Ashwamedha yajnas. And then, Amantrai Pandu Putransha Sainayodhava Samyuta Dvaipayanadi Viprai Pujitai Pratipujitaha. Lord Shri Krishna then prepared for his departure. He invited the sons of Pandus after having been worshipped by Brahmanas, headed by Srila Vyasadeva. The Lord also reciprocated greetings. So now Lord um, is about to leave Hastinapur. He came to Hastinapur mainly for the completion of Battle of Kurukshetra. Now the things are completed. He's going back to Dwaraka. Then Kantum Katamatir Brahman Dwarakam Vatam Asitaha Upalede Abid Abidavantim Tarabaya Vihapalam. As soon as he seated himself on the chariot to start for Dwaraka, he saw Uttara hurrying toward him in fear. But for Vaishnava, all the members of family of Pandavas were completely dependent on protection of the Lord, and therefore the Lord protected all of them in all circumstances. The Lord protects everyone, but one who depends completely upon him is especially looked after by the Lord. The father is more attentive to little son who is exclusively dependent on father. This is a very short purport, but it is very beautiful. Okay. Now, the beauty here is Uttara is not running towards Pandavas. She was running towards Krishna. She has not done any calculation and analysis of what is the calamity. Is it dangerous or is it just simple danger? Who can solve the problem? We could see Pandavas were not agitated by this. They accepted when Uttara was running towards Krishna for protection. So Pandavas did not have such kind of discrimination or thinking. Why Uttara? Why are you running towards Krishna for shelter? Why not towards Bhima or what? Why not towards Arjuna? So it is very clear Uttara was running towards Krishna naturally. It was not something motivated, but she was coming naturally. Uttaram Bihavala, she became afraid and hence she was running towards Krishna, coming hurriedly. Abhiha Antim. Let us go to the next sloka. Uttaro Vacha Pahi Mahi Mahayogim Deva Deva Jagatpate Nanyam Tvat Abhayam Pashe Yatra Mrityu Parasparam. Uttaro Vacha. Uttara said, O Lord of Lords, Lord of the universe, Deva Deva Jagatpate, you are the greatest of mystics. Nanyam Tvat Abhayam Pashe Mahayogim. Pahi Pahi Mahayogim. Please protect me. Please protect me. Pahi Pahi. Nanyam Tvat Abhayam Pashe. For no one else who can save me from clutches of death in this world of duality. Pashe Yatra, where there is Mrityu Parasparam in the world of duality. Tvat, you Abhayam no, fearlessness. Please protect me because Nanyatvad Abhayam, Nanyatvad, no one else, Na Anyam, no one else, Tvat than you, Abhayam, fearlessness. She cannot see fearlessness in anyone else other than Krishna. So it's a very beautiful shloka. Now let us go to the next one. So this shloka, this is shloka number 9. Okay. So in a panic situation, typically we repeat the words like Pahi Pahi, Deva Deva. This is very common in Sanskrit language. So she is telling that there is no one who can give her shelter other than Krishna. So, therefore, the interesting line, Mrityu Parasparam, the death is caused by one person to another. So, Yatra Mrityu Parasparam, one person causes the death of another. Thus, there is no rescue other than Krishna for Uttara. Yatra, where there is death in the world of duality. World of duality means one person causes death of the other person. Okay, so if you see the purport, Prabhupada gives a very interesting purport here. This material world is world of duality, in contrast with oneness of the absolute reality. The world of duality is composed of matter and spirit, where as the absolute is complete spirit without any tinge of material qualities. In dual world, everyone is falsely trying to become master of the world, whereas in absolute world, Lord is absolute Lord and all others are his absolute servitors. In world of duality, everyone is envious of all, and death is inevitable due to dual existence of matter and spirit. Lord is the only shelter of fearlessness for the surrender soul. One cannot save himself from cruel hands of death in the material world without having surrendered himself to the lotus feet of Krishna. So Mrityu Paraspara means one person causes the death of other, and in a world of duality, since there is envy among people, one person definitely causes the death of other. So Krishna, to protect the devotee, once again takes his weapon in spite of promising that he would not take weapon. That is what we will see. Arjuna also agreed to the promise of Krishna that it is okay for Krishna to not take weapon. He said that even if you do not take weapon, it is okay. You just stay with me. Arjuna says to Krishna. Duryodhana considered Arjuna to be a fool for opting out something like this, that is Krishna without weapons. So, in spite of Arjuna got the first chance to select Krishna. So Krishna promises this, but we see that Krishna will take weapon twice. One is one is now he's protecting Uttara's home. There will be one more instance in the next chapter which Bhishma will describe. So that will be very interesting. Let us go to the next shloka. So now whatever we are seeing are shlokas pertaining to prayers of Uttara. Abhidravati mam Isha saras tapta yasho vivo kamam lahatu mam nata mame garba yatam. Oh my Lord, you are all powerful. A fiery iron arrow is coming towards me fast. My Lord, let it burn me personally if you so desire, but please do not let it burn and abort my embryo. Please do me this favor, my Lord. So Krishna might ask here, are you praying for your life? Uh, your husband is already killed. Uh, you need not have to live. So Krishna may say this. To clarify this, she is requesting Krishna to protect the womb, the embryo. But in Kali Yuga, the mentality of the women is to kill the embryo and mother gets herself protected. So that means women get into illicit relationship with men, they become pregnant, and now she has a social society to face, which she cannot face because she does not have the courage to face or tell it openly that she had an illicit connection, and therefore she kills the embryo to protect herself. So this is how women of today are. Now, Prabhupada makes a very interesting observation in purport. This incident took place after death of Abhimanyu, the husband of Uttara, Abhimanyu's widow. Uttara should have followed the path of her husband, but because she was pregnant, Maharaj Parikshit, a great devotee of law, was lying in the embryo. She was responsible for his protection. The mother of child has a great responsibility in giving all protection to the child, and therefore Uttara was not ashamed to express this frankly before Lord Krishna. Uttara was daughter of great king, the wife of a great hero, and a student of a great devotee, and later she was mother of a good king also. She was fortunate in every respect. So she was daughter of king of Virata, where Arjuna spent last 1 year of the exile as a eunuch. He was a dance teacher to Uttara, and she was wife of a great hero. Abhimanyu was her husband. She was a student of a great devotee. So here, a great devotee is Arjuna, and then she is mother of Parikshit Maharaj. So it is very nice. Why Krishna has to, we need to understand why Krishna has to protect. One important thing that we need to understand here is why Krishna has to protect devotees or protect this particular emperor. This is to ensure that the kingdom is ruled by devotees so that the rebellious people can give up their envy to Lord and take up devotional service. Only when devotee comes to power, he will make situation good enough for people to practice bhakti, and therefore the duality because of envy among the people can come down, and hence one person will not be the reason for death of another person. For this to happen, a devotee should be king. The entire Kurukshetra war was fought to reinstall Yudhishthira as the king. And Krishna is protecting the embryo of Uttara so that Parishit Maharaj can become the king after Maharaj Yudhishthira. This is interesting shloka. Now let us go to next shloka. Suta uvacha upadarya vachastasye bhagavan bhakta vatsala apandavan idam kartam draune astram abhudyatah. Suta Goswami said, having patiently heard her words, Lord Shri Krishna, who is always very affectionate to his devotees, could at once understand that Ashwatthama, the son of Dronacharya, had thrown the Brahmastra to finish the last line in Pandava. I'll go to the next one. तर्हि एवात्ममुनिश्रेष्ठ पाण्डव पञ्चसायकान् आत्मनो अभिमुखान् दीप्तान् आलक्ष अलक्ष्यास्त्राणि उपाददु. O foremost among the great thinkers, Muni Saunaka, seeing the glaring Brahmastra proceeding towards them, the Pandavas took up the respective weapon. So Prabhupada is writing about Brahmastra. Brahmastra are finer than nuclear weapon. Ashwatthama discharged the Brahmastra simply to kill the Pandavas, namely the five brothers headed by Maharaj Yudhishthira and their only grandson who was lying within the womb of Uttara. Therefore, Brahmastra, more effective and finer than atomic weapon, was not as blind as atomic bombs. When atomic bombs are discharged, they do not discriminate between the target and the others. Mainly, the atomic bombs do harm to the innocent because there is no control. The Brahmastra is not like that. It marks out the target and proceeds accordingly without harming the innocent. Text 13. This is very nice. Vyasanam vikshaya tattesham ananya vishayatmanam sudarshanena swastrena swanam raksham yadat vibhu. The Almighty Personality of Order, Sri Krishna, having observed that great danger was befalling his unalloyed devotee, was therefore who were fully surrendered souls, at once took up his Sudarshana to protect them. So, in this, Prabhupada is giving a lot of explanation about Brahmastra here. For us, one important point that we need to know is he is better known as Bhaktavatsala or lover of his devotee, and thus he preferred to continue as Bhaktavatsala than to worldly moralist who never breaks his solemn vow. That means what? Krishna promised not to take weapon. So it is better for him to be called as Bhaktavatsala rather than somebody who who can boast himself as someone who has not taken weapon. So this very nice. Vyasanam vikshayat tattesham ananya vishayatmana sudarshanena swastrena swanam raksham yadad vibhu. So he is a bhakta vatsala devotee for his devotee. अतः स्ताः सर्वभूतानाम् आत्मा योगेश्वरो हरि स्वमायया अवरो अवृणोद्गर्भं वैरत्याह कुरु तन्तवे. The Lord of Supreme Mysticism, Sri Krishna, Yogeshwaro Harihi, resides within heart of everyone as Paramatma. As such, just to protect the progeny of Kuru dynasty, he covered the embryo of Putra by his personal energy. Kuru Tantare for the progeny of Maharaj Kuru. Vairatyaho. So she is daughter of Vairata, no, king of Virata. Okay. So, so Lord is entering the home uh, to protect the devotee. So here, one thing we can Prabhupada is mentioning, when there were difference between two families, the sons of Dhritarashtra were known as Kurus, whereas the sons of Pandavas were known as Pandavas. Since the sons of the grandsons of Dhritarashtra were all killed in the battle of Kurukshetra, the last son of dynasty is designated as son of Kuru. So that is why Kuru Tantave, Prabhupada is telling. That is why he is using Kuru Tantave. Now let us go to the next shloka. यद्यपि अस्त्रं ब्रह्मशीरस्त्व अमोघं च प्रतिक्रियां वैष्णवां तेज आसाद्य समासं यात् भृगुर्वहा. O Shaunaka, the glory of Bhrigu's family, although the supreme Brahmastra weapon released by Ashwatthama was irresistible, and without check or counteraction, it was neutralized and foiled and confronted by the strength of Vishnu, Lord Krishna. So in Bhagavad Gita, it is said that Brahmajyoti, or glowing transcendental effluence, is the resting of Lord Sri Krishna. In other words, the glowing effulgence known as Brahma Tejas is nothing but the rays of Lord, just as sun rays are rays of sun rays. So this Brahma weapon also, although materially irresistible, could not surpass the supreme strength of the Lord. The weapon called Brahmastra released by Ashwatthama was neutralized and foiled by Lord Shri Krishna by his own energy, that is to say, he did not wait for any other self because he is absolute. The previous situation, Arjuna released Brahmastra from his side and then he retrieved both the Brahmastra which Ashwatthama sent as well as his own weapon because Ashwatthama could not retrieve the Brahmastra. But in this case, Krishna took things directly in his hand to protect Parikshit Maharaj because Uttara approached him directly. Text 16. Mama mamasta hi etad ascharyam sarvascharyamaye achyute ya idam maya devya sajati avati hanti aja. O Brahmanas, don't think this to be especially wonderful in activities of mysterious and infallible personality of God. By his own transcendental energy, creates, maintains, and annihilates all material things, although he is himself unborn. Do not think this to be especially wonderful in the activities. So Prabhupada is giving here activities of all always inconceivable to tiny brain of living entities. Nothing is impossible for the Lord. But all his actions are wonderful for us. And thus he is like beyond the range of our conceivable limits. The Lord is all powerful, all perfect, personality of Godhead. Lord is sent person perfect, whereas others, namely Narayana, Brahma, Shiva, the demigods, all other living beings possess only different percentage of such perfection. No one is equal to or greater than him. He is unrivaled. Sarva Ascharya He is full of wonder. Ascharyam, wonderful, all Ascharya in all mysterious. Achyute, the infallible. Etad Ascharyam, Sarva Ascharyam Okay, let us go to sloka number 17. Brahma Tejo Vinirmukte Atmajay Saha Krishnaya Prayana Avimukam Krishnam Idam Aha Pratasati Pratasati. Thus saved from the radiation of Brahmastra, Kunti, the chaste devotee of Lord, under five sons, and Draupadi addressed Krishna as he started for his own. So now Krishna, having protected Putra and its womb and her womb, now is leaving to Dwaraka. Now Kunti is going to offer her prayers. This next set of verses are very beautiful. Now let us, before we get into this, so breakup of this chapter is shloka number 1 to 4 talk about Krishna pacifying Pandavas, and shloka number 5 and to 17 Lord Krishna says Maharaj Parikshit in the womb, and now shloka number 18 to 44 Kunti Devi offers prayers to Lord Krishna, and then the last 45 to 52 is Lord's interaction with Yudhishthira. So now, Lord Krishna says, Maharaj, but this is what we saw now. So Kunti's prayers talk about the entire prayer can be broken down into multiple levels. So shloka number 18 to 20 is knowing the Lord, how to know the Lord. Shloka number 21 to 25, Kunti's fortunate position. Shloka number 26 to 28 is qualification to approach the Lord. Shloka number 29 to 31 is Lord's nature is inconceivable and bewildering. 32 to 36 is Lord's birth. 37 to 43 is Lord's association. So to understand this, first we need to know the Lord, and Kunti knows this. So that is her fortunate position. So what is the qualification of Kunti? That is what she is talking. And has he understood uh, uh, Krishna? No, because it is inconceivable and is bewildering. Why? That we'll see in the shloka. Then Kunti Devi talks about one important thing, which is Lord's birth. Lord's birth is to attract people towards bhakti, towards Krishna. So, though Lord is inconceivable and bewildering, people like to approach him because he is so attractive. And then uh, the most important part of bhakti is association of devotees, association of Srimad Bhagavatam, association with holy names. So 37 to 43 talks about Lord's association. So the entire flow is knowing Lord is very important. Kunti knows that, and if she talks about the qualification to know the Lord. Krishna is inconceivable, it is very difficult to know him. But the bhakti process which Krishna is born to propagate, it attracts everyone towards him. And then Kunti prays to Lord to give his association. So let us get into the prayers. Kuntya Uvacha नमस्ये पुरुषं त्वाद्यम् ईश्वरं प्रकृते परम् अलक्ष्यं सर्वभूतानाम् अन्तर्बहिरवस्थितम्. So Kunti says, O Krishna, I offer my obeisances unto you because you are original personality and are unaffected by qualities of the material nature. You are existing both within and without everything, yet you are invisible to all. So here the explanation is Namaste. Uh, Krishna, when Kunti is saying Namaste, so Vishwanath Chakravarti, no, Acharyas are given various explanation about this. So Krishna is reciprocating for every word in this shloka. So when she says Namaste, so Krishna is telling, I am your nephew. Why you offer obeisances to me? Then she is saying, Purusha. So Kunti is saying that you are Purusha, the supreme personality of God. So Lord will then tell, yes, yes, I am, no, Purusham. I am Purusham. Yes, that is correct. But then Kunti is telling you are Adyam. She is telling that you are the original Purusha. You are not just Purusha. You are original Purusha. So Krishna, when Kunti is telling that he is she, he is Purusha. Yes, he is telling that yes, I am man. No, no. Kunti is telling no, you are not just man. You are Purusha Adyam. You are the original Purusha, not like the regular Purusha of this world. Yes, you are right. All souls are. Then Krishna is telling, yes, yes, you are right. All souls are coming and do not have any beginning or end. But then Kunti is telling, no, it's not that. You are different from them because you are Ishwaram. You are the controller of the universe. Lord, that says there are many controllers like me. This Indra is there, Brahma is there, Shiva, Lord Shiva is there. But then Kunti is telling you are Prakrite Par. They are all these controllers you are talking about are not superior to material nature. You are only superior to material nature. But then Lord is questioning if he is Purusha within the body, like super soul. Um, then she's telling Alakshan, Paramatma is subject to revelation. If a yogi meditates deeply, Paramatma will reveal himself. But Krishna is not perceptible to jivas. So then that is why she is saying, Alakshan, you are not perceptible. Then Lord may ask, am I then the is it then the Parabrahman imperceptible Brahman? No, you are not imperceptible Brahman. You are antar bahir avastita. This means that you are both inside and outside. Beyond that as well, you are Bhagwan. So this is a very interesting, very interesting shloka. Every word here is a kind of dialogue between Kunti and Krishna. So in the beginning of the prayer only, Kunti Devi is establishing the supremacy of the Lord. She is so humble that she says she's being woman, could not understand anything, but we could see how nicely she is composing this prayer. Namaste. Why you are offering me obeisances? Because you are Purusham Adya. You are not regular Purusha, you are Purusham Adya. There are many Purushas. No, you are of supreme controller. But there are many controllers, and then says you are controller of the material energy. Okay, then is it Paramatma? No, you are not Paramatma, you are imperceptible. Then is it Brahman? No, you are Antar Bahir Vastita. You are inside, outside, you are everywhere. So you are Bhagavan. So this is a very nice shloka. Okay, so now next shloka. Let us go to the next shloka. Maya Javanika Channam Agna Atoksajam Avyaya Lakshya Modapisha Nato Natya Daro Yata. Being beyond the range of limited sense perception, you are eternally irreproachable factor covered by the curtain of deluding energy. You are invisible to the foolish observer, exactly as an actor dressed as a player is not recognized. So Krishna is not recognized by asuras. That is what Prabhupada mentions here. We'll go to the next shloka here. ततः परमहंसानां मुनीनाम् अमलात्मनं भक्तियोगविधानार्थं कथं पश्येम हि स्त्रिया. You yourself designed to propagate the transcendental science of devotional service and to the heart of advanced transcendentalists and mental speculators who are purified by being able to discriminate between matter and spirit. How then can we women know you perfectly? She is talking about is her lower condition. कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः. कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः. कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः. Let me therefore offer my respectful obeisances unto the Lord who has become the son of Vasudeva, the pleasure of Devaki, the boy of Nanda, other coward men of Vrindavana, and enlivener of cows and senses. It's a beautiful shloka. Nama Pankajanaಭಾಯ, Nama Pankajamaline, Nama Pankajanetraya, Namaste Pankajangre. Let us quickly take a look here. Okay, let us finish up the shloka number 25. My respectful obeisances are unto you, O Lord, whose abdomen is marked with depression like lotus flower, who are always decorated with garlands of lotus flower, whose glance is as cool as lotus, and whose feet are engraved with lotus. So the explanation is that Kunti is uh, aunt of Krishna. She is elder to Krishna in the age. That is why instead of starting from the lotus feet, she starts from its nabi. It is the his abdomen, Nama Pankaja Nabhaya. And then she talks about his garland. Then he talks about his eyes, and then she comes to the lotus feet, whose feet are engraved with lotus Pankajandre. It's very beautiful shloka. यथा ऋषिकेशकलेन देवकी कंसेन रुदाति चिरं सुचर्पिता विमोति चाहं सहात्मज विभो त्वयैव नादेन मुहुर्विपत्कनात्. O Rishikesha, master of senses and Lord of Lords, you have released your mother, Devaki, who was long imprisoned and distressed by envious King Kamsa, and me and my children from series of constant dangers. A little bit of history. Yata Rishikesha Kalena Devaki, by envious Devaki. So Kamsa was envious of Devaki, and hence he imprisoned her. So she was delivered by Krishna, and also with all the problems which was given by Duryodhana to Pandavas by killing all the Kauravas. Now Kunti also is released from all the pains. Let us go to the next shloka. विशान्महाग्ने पुरुषादर्शनात् असत्सभाया वनवासकृच्छता मृदे मृदे अनेकमारतास्त्रतो द्रौणी अस्त्रास्त्रश्च अस्म Hare Abhirakshita. My dear Krishna, your Lordship has protected us from poisoned cake, from great fire, from cannibals, from vicious assembly, from sufferings during our exile in the forest, and from battle that great gentle sport. And now you have saved us from weapon of Ashwatthama. So cannibals is Idimba. Idimba was one of the demons who tried to kill them, and Bhima killed him. And Bhima married Idimba's wife Idimbi, and Ghatotkach was where there was their son. So there were a lot of problems which Pandavas faced, but all that by help of Krishna, they were all protected. So that is why Kunti is praying. And now Krishna has protected Pandavas as well as now Parishit Maharaj from the weapon of Ishwatana. We will stop here. We'll continue from Shloka number 25 in our next session. Thank you very much. Panchakalpatarubhyascha Kripasindhubhayavcha Tanam Pavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Noah Gandhra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai Gaura Bhakta ki jai Hare Krishna